ink back into the pad so it's not so juicy on the top, and then that will give you a little bit better ink to work with. So keep that in mind, and I will put these over to the side. All right, so I have one more thing to share with you guys tonight, so let me get that. And this uses the texture, or I think it's called Season of Chic bundle. So it's got the dies and of course this fantastic stamp set. And I have my paper thing, but now I can't find it. So it was my sheet that shows you all the papers, and now I can't find it. Where would that go? Oh, I found it. It's on the floor. There you have it. So here are the papers that are in this particular package. And one side of all of them has gorgeous gold foil accents. So that is just super pretty. This is the pattern that I'm going to use tonight because I just love this pattern. And this is my online class for the month. So if you're interested in that, you can get the registration link in the description of this video. So let's see. I don't know what your name, Glita MCC said her jaw literally dropped when she saw the beautiful rose. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to use these products. We're also going to use the distressed gold paper. So you can kind of see it's already got what looks like some texture to it. It's really pretty. And I'm also going to incorporate a little bit of the rose gold specialty paper for some of the die cuts. Okay. So this is going to be a pretty quick card. I've done a little bit of prep work on it already, so it won't take too long. So I'm going to start with a crumb cake card base, and then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch layer for the inside. I have a 3 by 4 inch piece of the designer series paper, and then I have a, is this 3 3/8? Oh, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, so 1/4 inch bigger than my designer series paper. So I've got that my designer series paper is actually going to go on. And then the distressed gold paper, I did cut this, I don't know, a geometric print, netting, I don't know exactly what you call it, but it looks like either of those things to me. Let's see. And then I did die cut these 2 shells from the die set out of one of the rose gold. This is kind of the matte rose gold paper in that set. So I've got a couple of those. I need a piece of petal pink. Here we go. And then I have my little piece of white. This is 1 1/4 by 3 3/4, I think. 3 5/8. It's by 3 5/8. Okay. So to start out with, I'm going to take this layer of crumb cake and I'm going to do a little sponging on it. So I've got a sponge dauber that is for crumb cake. Tap it into the ink just a little bit. And I'm just going to very gently kind of rub this right on the edge of the cardstock. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've got like a crumb cake on crumb cake layer, and I wanted it to stand out just a little bit. So I'm just adding a little bit of ink to the edges, and that's just going to give that the tiny bit of, I don't really know what I would, oomph, I guess. That's not even a word, but I think you guys will get what I'm saying when I show you. So I've just added a tiny bit of sponging around that layer. So that way, when I put my designer series paper on it and I stick it on here, it's got a little bit of darkness to it, a little bit of shading, I guess is the phrase I'm looking for. So it does pop off of the layer a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to add these 2 pieces together. So let me find my seal here. And it's so tough. Both sides of this paper are just gorgeous. It's hard to cover one up, but it must be done. Uh-oh, we're not ready to stick you down yet. Hold on. Sometimes with the seal, if you're quick to realize your mistake, you can sometimes get it off, or if you have to bring in the heat tool, you can do that too. Okay, so let me try this again. I think that's kind of where I want it. Yes. Okay, so we have that done. We have our piece of petal pink, and I'm going to bring in one of the shell images. Let me show you on the stamp set which one it is. There are two. So it's this one right here. This is the one that I'm going to use. So I'm going to ink it up in the petal pink. And I'm just going to stamp that right here. And then I would take that to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and I would die cut it. And then I would have a very beautiful shell. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is this is where I'm going to stamp my sentiment. But I need my sentiment to be in a specific spot. I don't really know what that is just yet. So I need to take my shells that I have. I've got a few of them here, like I said. And I need to kind of lay them on the layer of white where I want them to be. So then I can see that right in there is where I need to stamp my sentiment. So I am going to take a sentiment from the stamp set. It is a birthday sentiment that says, wishing you the best birthday ever. And I'm going to ink it up in soft suede. So a little bit darker ink than my crumb cake. Now I need to see what I'm doing here. I think right there's where I want it to be. Yes. I feel like that's fairly straight. Straight enough for Barb. All right. Definition. Yes, Flo. Thank you. That's a good word for it. So now that I have these on here, now I can actually glue them down. So I'll go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive to my shell. And then I can just kind of add it where I want it. This little guy, I'm going to bring in my little glue bottle here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wasn't looking and the glue was flowing out. There we go. Just going to add, this is my little glue bottle that I got off Amazon. I do have it linked in the description of this video. And I'm just going to add that right on top. And then this one, I pretty much only need the glue on the one edge. So we will get a little glue there, and then we will adhere that. So that's what we have so far. Whoops, you need to stick down, you little guy. Okay, so I've already got my inside layer done. I glued another one of those fun shells on, a little bit of the Designer Series paper, a little 1/2 inch strip. I find that just 1/2 inch strips are the perfect size for your inside layers, and you probably always have, you know, 1/2 inch strips laying around anyway. So this is a good way to use those little guys up, is to just add them to the inside of your card. It always just adds a little bit of class, I feel like, when you open up a handmade card and you find that extra little fun inside there. I just feel like it just jazzes it up a little bit. So now that we have our definition, thank you, Flo, on this, you can see I already did it on the back side because I wanted to check it out before I actually went live this afternoon when I was making this card, or sampling it, putting it together. I wanted to see if that would work, and it did. It worked pretty well. So I was pretty happy with that idea that I had. And so this is going to go in the center. Hopefully we can center it with our eyeballs. I think we've got it there. And then this, where is our netting? The netting is going to go right here. And you know what I might do with this? I might cut this in half so I can spread it open and have it be a little bit more. So I'm not going to cut it completely in the middle. And I am going to use some seal because no one's going to see the adhesive, even though you can kind of see it through there. Nobody's going to be able to see that. And then we'll add a little bit to this piece here. And then we can bring it down so that we have a little bit more of that on the card. So then this piece, I'm just going to add a few dimensionals right here in the center, probably 3, I guess, only in the center, because the edges, we don't need the edges done. And then we'll just lay this kind of right across the middle there. Is that crooked? Yes, I feel like it is. Hold on. Let me, whoops. I feel like the whole thing is crooked. Start over. All right, so I'm trying to make that the white, you know, has equal distance on both sides of this gold layer here. There we go. All right, so then my final little trick is, oh, not final, I've got 2 more final tricks. I've got some opal rounds to add, and then I've got some of this beautiful gold and vanilla ribbon. Very pretty. I've tied a little bow with that. And now I'm just going to add a glue dot. But I used my glue dots with something, oh, here they are. See, I used them on something else, and now I can't find them. So I'm going to add a little glue dot there. And then I'm just going to sort of throw that right in the center of that fun little shell, just to add a little fun there. And then I kind of feel like these yellow opal rounds will work just fine because they're kind of gold-ish. So let me bring my take your pick tool here, and I thought I would just sort of add a couple. Maybe we'll put one right here. And then maybe we can add one right, maybe we'll stick it right on there with that shell. Okay, so there we have it. A beautiful Season of Chic card with a little bit of fun on the inside as well. And then I'll bring back the other cards. Cynthia said I'm allowed as many do-overs as I need. So Cynthia, thank you, because I do need some do-overs tonight. It's just been one of those days. Here are my 2 Wonderful World, or World of Wonder. Now I don't remember what it was called again. I think it's Wonderful World. My 2 Wonderful World cards. And then finally, one of the cards from my Fish and a Wish class. So if you're interested in